Honestly, I'm not trying to brag, but I consider myself a very thoughtful and discerning shopper. Between the early influence of my very frugal and pragmatic parents and years of conscious practice, I usually know how to pick things that are comfortable, versatile, and fit my long-term taste. And yet, every once in a while, a purchase slips through the cracks, especially when I'm looking through trend-tinted glasses, and ultimately, I end up regretting it. Nobody's perfect, not even me. Shocking, I know. So today, I want to share those regret items with you and why they have not worked out for me to hopefully help us both make even better shopping decisions in the future. Also, this video was 100% inspired by other creators I've seen already do this exact same concept. Alexis Sunshine83 and Lainey Ozark. I feel like if you know me, you definitely already know them, but if you don't, check them out. All right, first up, we gotta start with these shoes. I am so sad to have to deliver the devastating news that these red Mary Jane flats, I almost never actually wear. These are so fun to me, in theory. I love the red flats and Mary Janes that we've been seeing in I guess the past 2 years. I bought these 2 years ago, and they were definitely influenced by that trend. However, these have not worked out for me that well for a few reasons. Firstly, something I have realized since I bought these is that I never wear flats. I mean, I don't often wear heels either. I just usually wear something with a chunkier sole because my arches need more support than a thin flat is usually able to give. They're Dr. Scholl's brand, so you'd think they should be really comfortable and supportive for walking, but for me, they're just not enough. Second issue. These feel too enclosed to wear without socks. Just feels very sweaty and gross. And they also gave me blisters once when I tried to wear them without socks. But when I wear them with socks, I just think they look utterly ridiculous. In theory, it sounds cute, like Mary Jane's with socks is cute to me, but these specific shoes with socks, I don't know why. Every time I try it, it just does something weird to the shape of my foot and my ankle that I can't describe, but I just hate it. The final shortcoming of these shoes to me is that they just don't look exactly how I wish they did. I really wanted a cute, chic little red Mary Jane vibe, but I think because of the sort of sportier tread on these, they just look a little too orthopedic, for lack of a better word, despite, again, not even being that supportive, which was a bit of a letdown. Why are you, as a shoe, both kind of ugly and kind of uncomfortable? Pick one. Next up, we have what seems like a perfectly likable piece, this white tank top. I actually thrifted this with the intention to thrift flip it, and honestly, that was my first mistake. Important realization of this video. If you wouldn't wear something exactly how it is when you bought it, aside from a very easy, simple alteration that is in your skill set, you're either not gonna end up doing the thing you have in mind to fix it, or you'll do it and then you still won't like it. And by you, I mean me. I'm talking to myself here. In this case, I cropped it and added these bows, which is probably the trendiest part, but I actually don't regret the bows at all. I still love them. My issue was more with the base piece itself. First of all, I had hoped that cropping it would make it look a little less boxy, and unfortunately that failed, and I actually think it looks even boxier now. And now it's actually slightly too short. And then because it's slightly too short and it's very wide and loose and boxy, I also feel like I'm in danger of flashing people when I wear it. The second issue I have with this base piece is that the armholes are just slightly too small for my ideal comfort. It's not that they're too tight to fit my arms or anything. I just hate when I put my arms down and I can feel the fabric in the crease of my armpit. This dress I'm wearing right now, you can see even when my arm is down, the fabric is so low, I would never have to feel it in my armpit. This is how I want all tank top armholes to be. The number of tank tops I've turned down at the thrift store for this specific reason only, innumerable. The reason I think I didn't turn this one down is that the holes are just on the line between being big enough or being slightly smaller than I'd like. It's they're only big enough because the tank top is oversized, but they don't actually sit the way I would want them to. I don't know, the more I wear this, the more it annoys me. All this said, I may still perhaps try to alter it again to see if I can possibly fix it, because I have a disease where once I bought something, even if it's thrifted, I become burdened by moral obligation towards that object and the need to get use out of it. Our next item is honestly not even really particularly trend influenced, except maybe the trend towards cardigans in general, but this is more just an unsuccessful purchase, this gray and white cardigan. My issue with this piece is simple. The sleeves are too tight. for my style. They're not too tight to be comfortable, but the thing is, for me, the purpose of cardigans generally is layering, so I need them to have room for something with sleeves to be underneath. And if the sleeves are as tight as these ones, that's simply not happening. It's also weird because the torso of it isn't particularly fitted or tight on my body, but the sleeves are like so tiny. This feels like it was built for an adult torso with child arms. And it's also quite thick, so it just doesn't feel like something I could wear as just a shirt with nothing underneath anyway. That said, I do think I was won over by this fabric because it is thick and so soft. It feels amazing to me, but sadly, it is just not functional in my wardrobe. Then again, maybe I'll try to make it work with like tank tops underneath or something. I don't know. If you see me wearing this again later, forget I said this, okay? Mind your business. Next, we have another shoe and, surprise, surprise, it's another flat. These silver sort of loafers. Honestly, part of my issue with these is that I feel like I can't figure out what style they are. Like, they're not quite a loafer, but they're not quite a flat either. It's honestly giving Toms, which does give me high school Tumblr flashbacks and therefore does make me a little biased against them. But actually, primarily, I think the issues here are very similar to my issues with the red shoes. It feels kind of gross to wear them without socks, but I think they look goofy with socks. They don't give my feet adequate support. And also, these ones have the added bonus of just being too big. This is not my shoe size. I thrifted them in December and I think I was just like wearing really thick socks at the time. But if I only like how these look without socks, but they're also too big without socks, it's just not adding up, babes. It's not gonna work. I actually remember in the thrift haul where I showed these, mentioning that I didn't particularly see myself getting into like the little silver shoe trend, but then I happened upon these at Goodwill. They were $6. I was like, no loss if they don't work out, let's try it. It's fun for the holidays. And I did wear them for both Christmas and New Year's. However, have I worn them a single time since then? I honestly don't think so. Listen, if I can figure out a way to make these and the red shoes work with socks, the game may be changed. If you all have any ideas, please let me know. But so far, the outlook is not great. Okay, this next item is actually more of a category, and I don't have anything in it to show you because I've already excommunicated any of these items from my closet. Does excommunicated only apply to churches? Okay, listen, they've been excommunicated from the sacred church of my wardrobe. Anyway, the category is anything mesh. Especially skin tight mesh. Oh my god. Those like second skin type mesh tops look so cool, and yet they are always so deeply itchy and uncomfortable to me. And on the rare occasion that they're not, I had one specific mesh top that was actually comfortable. It is still always smelly. I don't know if this is just a me problem, but whenever I put on a skin tight mesh top, my armpits stink within like 10 minutes. I think it has something to do with synthetic fabric makeup. I know synthetics hold on to smell a lot more. So like if you wear the shirt and then, the armpits are a little smelly at the end of the day and then you wash it, doesn't matter, baby. That smell is coming back within 10 minutes of you putting it back on. Anything mesh that I do still have in my closet, A, they're loose and flowy, not tight on the armpits. And B, they are probably still slightly uncomfortable and not breathable, but they're just too beautiful and special for me to let go of. But I'm not trying to continue to buy anything new that falls into that category, and I have ditched anything that's impractical that is not an extra special and beautiful treasure. All right, next up we have a piece that honestly I do like and I do wear, but let me explain. It's this red and black plaid skirt. I low-key regret this purchase because I really wanted a long, multicolored plaid skirt in a color scheme that I particularly like. Plaid skirts were also a big fall trend, so I was like extra on the hunt to find one. But long plaid skirts that are actually like a good length and a comfortable material and a comfortable fit are so hard to find at the thrift store. And I had been looking for one, and then I finally found this one, and it is comfortable and it does fit, and I do like the length. And I like red, so I got it, but ultimately it just isn't the skirt I was actually looking for, so it just didn't fill that gap in my wardrobe. While I like red, I'm not actually a huge fan of red and black together as a color combo. It just feels so like stereotypically edgy and punk that it ends up feeling almost costumey to me. Like it's kind of serving Camp Rock realness. So I do wear this, I make it work, but overall the red and black color combo just does not feel super me. So I feel like maybe I just should have waited to find one that like actually suits my taste a little more. And I feel like the reason that maybe I didn't wait and I settled for something that wasn't quite perfect is partly because it was such a big trend. I feel like that is the sneaky way the trends get to you sometimes. It's not always that like you buy them and then you end up hating them later. Sometimes it's that because something is currently a trend, you rush to get it because you want to be able to participate right away. And then you end up with a version of it that has some shortcomings in quality or in your personal preferences. Okay, next up, we actually have a bag, and it is this incredible pink leather purse. I love this bag. I mean, look at it. The brown top handle, the pink leather, the little heart hardware on it. Insanely, unbelievably cute. I love her so much. She is such a treasure to me. And yet, I never use this bag. I think I've used it like maybe twice, and they may have both been for Valentine's Day. I think this just like isn't quite my style. I love to look at the color pink, but I very rarely find myself drawn to wear it. This is also a top handle bag, so you know, it's not the most practical. Overall, this bag just like doesn't really make sense for me, and it is just taking up space in my closet. And in that way, I do sort of wish I had never found it in the first place. But now that I have found it and I do own it, I do also absolutely refuse to let it go because it's so cute. It's just so unique and so pretty. And it's also genuine leather and it's really well made. Honestly, the more I look at it, the more I'm like convincing myself I can make this work. Even with what I'm wearing right now, I feel like it could be really cute. I'm gonna have to like try to make myself wear this more. That's the lesson for this particular piece. Okay, next we have another bag. I feel like there's sort of a theme happening here with bags and shoes. And that's why I try not to thrift either of those things very often. But this one is this little beaded opera bag. I think that's what these are called. This one is for a very straightforward reason. This crossbody chain always gets caught in my hair. Every time I put it on, if it even comes close to me, like if I do this, it's pulling my hair right now. And it doesn't just get stuck, like it latches on and it hurts. It pulls my hairs out. So I've literally never worn this. I've never used it once for that reason. This one I think I have to get rid of. Like there's no justification for this. I really just wanted one of these like vintage beaded opera bags. I think they're so pretty and cute, but this also isn't even like the prettiest one I've ever seen. So I think I can get rid of this and get a prettier one that doesn't rip my hair out. Finally, our last item. Honestly, this is kind of shameful. It's these orange leather boots. And the reason it's shameful is that I got these at the bins last summer, knowing that the heel caps were missing with the intention to replace them. And then I never did. It's been almost a year. I haven't worn these out of the house once. That is so embarrassing. Let me explain myself though. Okay, the thing is, the heel caps are missing, but there's another issue. The inside along the top edge also has this like faux leather lining that starts to crack and flake off over time. And so every time I have put these on, even just in my house, I get little flakes of this stuff stuck to my legs. Very glamorous. And so if I fix the heel caps, I would also want to fix this like weird chipping lining, but I don't even know if or how you could do that. And also fixing both of those things seems sort of potentially expensive, especially because these heels are sort of an irregular shape. And so if it's going to cost me like $80 to fix like a $3 pair of boots that I probably wouldn't wear on any sort of regular week-to-week basis anyway, that's simply not worth it for me and my budget. If any of you have any insights about this whole dilemma and what I might be able to do about it, how much it might cost me, please let me know. I would love solutions because I do sort of regret burdening myself with these fabulous boots, but they are so fabulous and I don't want to get rid of them now. I'm open to ideas. Okay, so please leave them in the comments. All right, y'all, these are all the thrift regrets that I still have around, but maybe shouldn't have taken home with me in the first place. Some definitely trend influenced, some are just a me problem. But either way, this did give me a little more clarity on why some of these things have just been sitting here unused and what I could potentially do about it or do to avoid that issue in the future. And also a lot of these are from a year or even 2 years ago. And I feel like I have learned a lot since buying all of them to avoid making more recent regrettable purchases. So I realize you may not trust me on this after this video, but I'm actually hoping to make a video soon on how I generally avoid regretful clothing purchases. So if you're interested in seeing that from me, despite my flaws displayed in this video, let me know. And I heard if you do leave a comment, watch another video, and subscribe to the channel, you will never regret another purchase in your life. Ever. Never again.